I know what you're thinking. Johnny's never coming back talking about the sous vide, but here I am almost a year later, no facial hair, and I'm ready to answer some questions that we've had in some of the comments. So let's go ahead and get started. And I don't know if I've already said this, but this is not sponsored. I bought this with my own money. So let's go ahead and get to some of the comments that you guys have had over the past few months. And I'm going to be making lots of videos on this, including making some videos of me, how I make some of the meals with ButcherBox. So here we go. So one of the first things, what is the difference between this and the slow cooker? Well, the Starchie right over here, and I'll talk about that in a whole separate video because I believe it deserves its own video for the Starchie. No Starchie love out there. Anyways, this is, first of all, this has a slow cooking functionality in the sous vide. But over here in the Starchie, it can do slow cooking as well, but it's more of like a pot style. I'll show that at some point. And I think you're asking the main difference between the Starchie and this, and that should be a whole separate video, and I'll make that. But one of the main things you gotta remember is that it has a water reservoir above. So the main thing is that it's like boiling the water, shooting it down in the pot, and then it can boil pasta, it can boil vegetables, potatoes, all those kind of things. I'm gonna actually get into a video of pretty much everything you can do. One of the main things that I do with it is I boil potatoes and I make rice with it to have ready. So it's those things that you don't have to have refrigerated. A lot of times it can make, but the good part about it is if you're feeding a lot of people, that it can do that, and then you still have two sections for the sous vide that can be used. One of the next comments here from Addy7275. Congratulations on your wife and the new baby. Yeah, she's a toddler now, running around. She's crazy, and we have a baby on the way. But I got a new process, so I'll be making videos, don't worry guys. But you asked, how's the sous vide working out? Can you make soups in the starch cooker? Well, I would first of all say that the sous vide's been working out. I've literally been using this every day I've had it. Seriously, every day. I know a lot of people are out there, sous vide super fans. I bought this with my own money, but I seriously use it every day, and it helps our schedule out so much, which is the whole reason I wanted to buy it in the first place without paying for the meals that were just a little too expensive for me. But I use ButcherBox, and that actually works all together. And I'll show you how in some other videos, but I might allude to that now. But for can you make soups in the starch cooker, I would suggest that you'd use it in a slow cooking environment. So either slow cook on low, slow cook on high. But yeah, you could absolutely do soups in that easily. You could do that with the sous vide as well. One of the next comments here. So what is the deal with the starch cooker? The review on the sous vide, I can see that, but no one talks about the Starchie at all. So does it work with rice, and does it come out done? Is it worth $500? I'm not sure if it's still $500. Maybe it's that separate, but when I got everything together, it wasn't, I guess, in the frame of $500. But I got on a deal. Everything was $1,000 for this and all the extra pots and pans, the Starchie. But I would say having all of it is worth it. It would be hard for me to just use this. Most every day I do only use this, but when I'm planning on cooking for everyone, I almost always use the Starchie for vegetables, rice, or those kind of things. But it is definitely an investment, so if you're not planning on doing those kind of foods, or you can already do it with one of the trays, then you don't need it. But if you want rice done at an exact time, I'm sure you can do rice with a slow cooking recipe somehow, but over here, rice is really easy, and cooking like the spaghetti noodles and all that kind of stuff, super easy over here. All right, from Foo Boy, I need more, but take care of the baby first, thanks. But there's absolutely no videos you can find on the Starchie cooker. That's coming. I want to do like an in-depth one. This is kind of real quick to just make sure you guys know I'm alive, and I'm gonna be making some, and to just kind of give you some feedback over owning this thing and using it almost every day for a year. But this is the question. I need more on that and scheduling meals. So about the Starchie and about scheduling meals for both cooked at the same time. You can do this a few different ways. So you can go into the settings over here and kind of just when you're putting it all for the same time, and then on the Starchie, you can do the same thing. But you can also do everything from the app. So you can put everything in, get it ready, and then if you remember where everything goes, like what's cooking here, you can get into the app and pretty much have it all set to the same time. But as long as you do everything early enough, so like give everything more than enough time, you're never gonna run into that issue where like this needs only an hour to cook, but the Starchie needs like an hour and a half. Because I know like I've ran into that, but that's usually when I'm like wanting to cook real fast, and that's kind of my fault. But this whole system, why I got it, is so I could prep way ahead of time and then just forget about it. So if you are wanting to do things ahead of time, you're never gonna really have those issues because you're scheduling it so far ahead of time that's gonna be ready at the same time. So there you go. From Chili Cat 3, I would love to see more videos, and I wanted to see how you're using it by saving money and making meals on your own. You have ADHD and a hard time with prepping meals for your family. Lots of fast food resorting. I completely get that. I think I talked about this in the last video about eating so much Chipotle just due to like some of the diets I'm on. And that's one of the few clean foods I can go to real fast. And pretty much using this to not go out. So I'm doing everything way ahead of time. Oh, hey, look, it just finished my chicken wings. So that's cool. But this really helps with the prepping of food. I know a lot of us, especially me, in that crunch time, even if you've prepped food, you still have that 30 minutes to an hour of right when you need it ready. You're in there, you're cooking, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get this, because when I'm done with my prep, I'm done until I'm eating. And that's why I thought that this was worth it. And it's actually more than paid for itself since I've had it, because it changed our eating habits, it changed our going out to eat habits. And we've actually been eating a lot healthier. I feel great. I'm on a new diet, and where I actually have arthritis in my knee, and instead of taking pills, wanted to switch diet, and it's allowed me to be able to do that. And so I'm super grateful that I even feel better now. Silas says, thanks for providing an honest, unsponsored review. Yep, not sponsored. All right, Vernon asks, what is the max serving size? Can you feed a family of 4 or 5? That is a good question. So I actually recently just responded to him today saying it depends on what meal, because depending on what you put in here, if you're putting like lots of meat in one of the trays, then that's almost a tray enough to feed a family of 4 for a meal. You can put 3 chicken breasts, 4 chicken breasts, stack them up in there, and then you have a whole nother tray, and then you have the Starchie cooker. So that could feed a family of 4, but if you wanted to do something like me, so I've done like spaghetti where I did the noodles, the sauce, and then the meatballs. Well, I guess I did feed more people there, but there's certain recipes, what I'm trying to say, when you are separating everything, be mindful of, because you might not be able to feed a family of 4 depending on what you're putting in. But it really depends on the meal. But I would absolutely say that you can feed a family of 4 or 5 with this using the right meals. So my Chipotle meal that I've talked about, that I'm gonna make a whole video on because I've used it and eaten it so much, you could definitely feed a family of 4 with that recipe. You could feed more people, probably 6 people if you loaded everything up with that recipe. Gemini asks, I'd like to see more how to prepare meals rather than using the meal plans, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna be making a few different videos showing how I make some of the meals and pretty much what I eat on a weekly, monthly basis. And El Rey says, 9 months later, no second video, enough said, crying face. And I replied to him today, I'm making videos. It was funny because I've actually been planning this video, but I just got back from a vacation where I just put some videos on YouTube for like some things I did at Disney. But hey, here I am. So I know it took a while, but I have all my setups and video editing stuff. The lighting used to be awful to where I was like, I can't even make this video because it looks so bad. But I've like saved up for Christmas and other stuff. And a lot of people have put a hand in getting me Amazon gift cards and other stuff to help me out. So I have a big light over here now where everything looks good, have some secondary lights and 2 cameras, so that really helps out. And then the first comment was actually from the company Suvie, just pretty much asked, or any of your viewers have questions, and we'll be happy to answer them here. So if you guys ever have any questions, I'll see if I can answer them, and if not, maybe we can ask Suvie if they could answer them. But at this point in the video, I want to let you know how it's been for me this past almost year since I've made the last video. So I'm going to be pretty honest here about some of my experience. So this is actually my second Suvie 3.0 unit because apparently some kind of moisture got in this computer part over here, and it actually made it to where my menu wouldn't do anything. I couldn't use the sous vide anymore. And I was super bummed because I've been using this thing on a daily basis. That it was a pretty hard transition to go back to like cooking normally and like just realizing how many dishes you have to clean when you're like having a pan and you know you have something else. It just a lot of dishes started piling up. So I was super bummed, but I reached out to Suvie and they actually ended up sending me a new unit. They walked through all these different tests and testing the unit out, and they pretty much came to the determination that somehow some moisture had leaked into the actual computer part of the unit and it wasn't able to connect anymore. So I sent my unit out and they sent me a new unit. And it did take a little bit. I think it was like 15 or 20 days to get it back. But I've had the second unit for almost half a year and it's been running strong. And I've been using it with ButcherBox and a few other things to make cooking really easy. And ButcherBox actually will send things in sealed packages. So lots of the times what I do is I actually pull out the tray, I put the meat inside the sous vide pan, fill it up with water, and cook it in a sous vide mode, and then pop it in, and then I take it out a few hours later and it's ready to go. So it makes everything super simple. And with ButcherBox, it's a lot more affordable, and I like putting my own seasonings in there and everything, but you don't get the whole tap to make your dinners or anything like that. But other than that, I've been using this thing over a year of using it now, and I don't want to ever go back. I'm not sponsored, I'm not anything like that. I actually took a big risk in buying this, pretty much put the facts and figures and scheduled like a whole year of what it would cost to keep living and eating how we were eating. And really this would save us money over a whole year. So that's why I took a risk on this company that I didn't really know much about, couldn't find videos about it. I did as much searching as I could, but here we are, and I'm planning to make a lot of videos about this because I know a lot of you are like me and just have no information before possibly buying something that looks really cool on an ad and you don't know if it's like a scam. And so for me, I've been happy. I wasn't very happy when it broke, but they got me a new one really quick, all things considered. And the only other bad part about this is how heavy this thing is. You will definitely need someone else to help you with it if you're not as strong as other people. But other than that, guys, please leave some comments, leave some questions so I kind of know where to go with making videos about this in the future. I'm really trying to do a service to the community because when I was doing this and I would just really went in a risky situation with buying it, I did so much research, hours and hours, probably 15 plus hours in trying to figure out everything I could about this and if it was worth it, if it would work, all those things. And so I'm trying to do what I wish was out there for me. And I think I said that in the last video, but needless to say, you can subscribe if you like this. If no one's liking this, I will kind of know that's a sign that no one wants to see videos about this. But if you guys are liking, subscribing, commenting on the things that you want to know, I will know then to make more videos about this because you guys want to see that. And that's the whole reason why I would be making these videos, giving back and pretty much saying what I wish was out there. But anyways, I have lots of videos coming up. The ones I have planned, let me know if you think this is a good idea, is making some of the recipes that I'm always making, including the ones with ButcherBox, and then making a video just on the Starchie because you can never find videos on that, I feel like. And then I also have like an accessory bundle that I bought a long time ago that has like the egg bite holders. And I feel like no one talks about that, and I kind of like it. So I don't use it all the time, but there's some Saturday mornings when I like waking up and having like a breakfast that I don't have time for it in the rest of the week, so I use that egg bite. But let me know what you guys think. Please talk with me. I'm trying to at some point get this YouTube thing going. I really like making content and all that. So if you guys like this, let me know by subscribing, liking, and commenting. And hopefully you'll be seeing a lot more of me in the near future. So with that being said, I'll see you later. Bye.